Hello. It's been a little while since I've been on here, hasn't it, YouTube? I apologize for that. I took an unintentional 12-month hiatus and I just kind of ran with it. So I do apologize for the disappearing act, but I'm not all that sorry because I needed to not be on the internet for a little while. This video is coming to you from my new house on my laptop because my camera is probably uh somewhere in a box with a flat battery, if I'm being honest. There is a dog asleep next to me, so if you hear some puppy snoring, it's my bug. She's still adapting to the new house, and I just wanted to give you the due diligence of saying hello, especially if you're a new subscriber over the last 12 months. I see you. I appreciate you being here. Welcome to the most inconsistently consistent, or am I saying it the other way? Consistently inconsistent YouTube channel that you could possibly have subscribed to. My name's Chelsea and I'm an illustrator and barista from Melbourne, living in Florida. So I'm just gonna dive right in. I have no editing software on this computer right now. I have nothing to make this seamless and YouTube friendly by any stretch. So this is just going to be what it is, and I'm just going to give you an update on where I've been for the last 12 months, what I've been doing, and what my plans are for this channel in the coming months to years. And yeah, it's going to be a little bit ambiguous and a little bit all over the place, but that's kind of what 2020 was for all of us anyway. So hi. I found myself at the end of 2019 running out of steam to make YouTube videos. And part of the reason for that was because I was living with family at the time, my husband's family. We moved in with his mum when I moved to Florida, and initially that was fine. I had space to create videos and draw and all that stuff. And as the pandemic kind of came in and we all kind of got hunkered down in that little house, we ran out of room for me to have space, and that was fine. I didn't feel comfortable filming videos in front of other people. I didn't feel comfortable having other people feel like their living space was limited with me turning a camera on. So I kind of filed that away in my brain as we'll come back to that kind of thing when this pandemic's over, or when I have my own space, we'll come back to it. Which ended up being the whole year. And if I'm being honest, most of 2020 for me was much like everybody else. I was just trying to get through it. I didn't have a lot of creative motivation. The jobs that I did do for illustration were mostly private commissions. I didn't really put myself out there for commercial jobs. I had a very big survival mentality for 2020, and thankfully for me, my job didn't, my day job didn't shut down. So I was fortunate enough to keep my job and thrive in my job and just keep plugging away. So I run a cafe and my husband is a chocolatier. So we were both very lucky that neither of those businesses shut down. So we spent the most of 2020 working and putting away money as best we could and saving a deposit for this house because we couldn't stay in our previous living situation. We just didn't feel like it was fair on the family that we were living with, and we didn't feel like it was fair on us. So all that kind of stuff kind of just, a lot of kinders in that sentence, isn't there? All that stuff takes time and takes dedication, and illustration was something that I was still passionate about and driving really hard for, but it just wasn't something that was aligning with where I needed to go. So it's not something I've forgotten about. Oh, she's rearranging. Hang on, she's giving me a bum. It's not something that I've forgotten about. I'm still making stuff. I just slowed down my roll on it because I felt like I was running nowhere. You know what I mean? When you're in a hurry to go nowhere kind of thing. My dad says that all the time when people speed past him on the freeway. Oh, they're in a hurry to go nowhere. That's exactly how I felt. I was speeding towards something, but I didn't know what it was or where I was going with it. So I took 2020 off of making videos and content and all that because it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like didn't feel like it was something I needed to be doing, and it didn't feel like I was contributing anything useful or helpful to anybody. So I just took that burden off of my shoulders. As for this year, I don't know what's going to happen with this channel too well. I just know that I would like to be making content again. What and how and when, I do not know. It is something that I am slowly working back towards, though. So do know that my intention is there. I'm still living out of boxes right now, and I'm still finding the right desk chair because my current desk chair is driving me nuts. But for the most part, like I'm kind of back. There are other places you can find me. I'm on a newsletter that I have once a month. I will leave the link to that below. I'm also still on Instagram. I'm on TikTok, but I'm mostly just goofing around on TikTok. Yeah, I don't think there's really much else to update you on other than the fact that I shut down the tattoo shop. And if you're one of the subscribers that came here for the temporary tattoos, I do apologize. I shut the shop down in my YouTube hiatus and didn't really think much of it. I just stopped loving making tattoos and selling tattoos, and I was getting a lot of requests that just weren't worth the like investment of time for the revenue that they would have given me. And I know that sounds shit because it's such a small business, but like I had people ordering one custom tattoo the size of like a 5-cent piece or a dime, and I'm saying 5-cent piece like an Australian 5-cent piece, and like I was only charging $2 for those. So for me to print one fucking tiny tattoo at like an A4 or letter size piece of paper, it was not worth my time. It was not worth the money that I was being paid. So like I was very grateful for the business to be as well established and liked as it was, but I didn't feel a connection to it, and I didn't feel like I could commit to it, because it was one of those things where you either go all in and be like, okay, now I'm going to make this as accessible and fun for everybody as I can, or this is going to be just a side project that I kind of turn people down from. And I never want to be that person that half-asses things. So I kind of went, you know what? There are better ways I could be spending my time. So if you do make temporary tattoos, go for it. That's such a cool thing. And I think I just fell out of love with it. I started that business in 2014 when I was still at uni, and it was just a fun, goofy thing to do while I lived with my parents out of their garage. And as I've gotten older, I've just kind of looked at the designs and gone, yeah, that's kind of dated now, and I'm not as in love with the concept. And frankly, as I've gotten older, I'm even more apprehensive to get tattoos. Because like if I had gotten tattoos like I wanted to at 18, I would have a blue fucking Dalek on my back. And the temporary tattoo business kind of created that idea of, well, this is a lesser investment. And now even like with temporary ones, I have them on for 5 minutes and I'm like, oh fuck this thing. I don't need this on me. So probably not the best example of a temporary tattoo shop owner. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. I'm moving more in a branding direction and a lettering direction with illustration. The newsletter is something I'm very proud to publish once a month, and I think I already said in this video, but I'll leave a link below. And yeah, I'm interested to see where 2021 takes me. I'm interested to see how my office develops this year and what kind of stuff I end up making. I have a very big urge to paint again, like properly making a mess paint, because I haven't done that in a really long time and I miss it. So you might see some content in relation to that from me. Other than that, I plan to stay consistently inconsistent for the time being. So I do see you guys here subscribing and commenting and interacting with this channel, and I greatly appreciate it. It does not go unnoticed. I will be back at some point. I don't want to make false promises as to when that will be. And also, if you are on here and you're looking for the Patreon, I also shut that down. It just felt weird to be asking people for money for content that I just didn't have the energy to make anymore. So Patreon is gone and the Etsy tattoo shop is gone. But mostly everything else should still be there if you ever want to interact. Otherwise, that's the full update from me. So thank you for being here. As I said, I see you, I appreciate you, I acknowledge you. I'm just getting resituated on being a fully fledged adult, living a married, happy life in a new house right now. So thank you for your time, and I think that's pretty much it. I will see you sometime soonish. Bye.